Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching NDTV. The deadly stampede outside Bengaluru's Chinnaswamy Stadium during RCB's IPL victory celebrations yesterday, which claimed 11 lives and injured several others, has now quickly spiraled into a fierce political battle. In fact, this was a celebration that turned into a tragedy. A city that was soaked in pride now is drowned in grief. 11 lives lost, and amongst them, a school student who had just come to the city to collect her transfer certificate, a woman who did not let go of her husband's hand till she collapsed, a techie who was looking forward to getting married, and one thing that united them all, a feeling of pride for the city that had won the IPL title for the first time in 18 years. Now, dozens of people have been injured as well. The government says it expected only 1 lakh people, but almost 8 lakh people turned up for these celebrations. Now, how did the government go so wrong in its judgment when the frenzy was for everybody to see immediately after the win? Now, the State Cricket Association hurriedly organized the celebration despite warnings. The police did not have enough time. The list of excuses that we have heard today seems endless. And now, of course, a political blame game is also erupting over the bodies. The Congress government says the crowd was unprecedented. In fact, Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar also broke down while talking to media today, calling the victims all his own. But the opposition BJP has hit hard, calling this a government-manufactured stampede. The party has demanded resignations at the top. There's outrage, there's emotion, but still no accountability, no resignations. And yes, stampedes have happened in this country before. We've seen the same during Mahakumbh and, of course, at New Delhi Railway Station. Even before that, even in cinema halls, and questions need to be asked every time action needs to be taken. But what happens in Bengaluru should have been expected and also prevented. RCB had just won the IPL title after 18 long years, and the buzz was massive. The administration knew, yet it failed. A post by a franchise promised a parade, free passes, limited entry, but where was the crowd control? Who was manning the gates? And why were there lakhs of people left to squeeze through a gate, a single entry point, which was gate 7? All of that also was heard in the court today. So tonight we ask this very important question: who failed Bengaluru, the people of Bengaluru? Is it the government? Was it the police? Or were the organizers responsible for this? And how long will politics keep burying responsibility under condolences messages? Because 11 families want answers today, and so does the city of Bengaluru. Let's first listen in to what D.K. Shivakumar, the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, said today with regard to this.
It must be a difficult time for you, given that there was so much joy. It was all organized in eagerness, and then it all turned into a tragedy.
See, I can't express the pain what I'm suffering. We never expected this would happen. But the entire state was watching this event. We are very sorry. I don't want to find fault with some others or politicalize this issue, what BJP and JDS is doing. But we have to rectify what has went wrong. It is our bound duty. At the same time, the family is our family. All of them, they are part of our family. We are very much disturbed on this issue. We will join with them on all occasions on this grief. So some court issue is already going on. Let me reply to speak to you later. I have a cabinet meeting on this issue, and other issues are there. We have cancelled all our programs. The pain is, I can't express the pain what we are suffering.
MP and also former minister in Karnataka. Thank you, Mr. Sudhakar, for your time. So where exactly do you think the administration misjudged and failed? Because today there was a flurry of messages on what the RCB tweeted or posted on Facebook. Clearly, there should have been far more readiness and preparations, because this is the government and administration is responsible for crowd management, isn't it?
Absolutely. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt condolences to the families of those who have lost their dear sons and daughters as young as 14 years till 29 years. That is the highest age where the individuals died. But I would really like to not politicize this issue. Stampedes we have seen, and stampedes may happen in future. But what happened yesterday is what I would like to bring it to the forum. See, due to the government's muddled, planning and disorientation, this kind of a tragedy has taken place in Bangalore. It was a state of higgledy and piggledy, Vasudha. It was a state of higgledy and piggledy. Nobody knew what is happening. See, in the morning I observed at 8:39 a.m. the RCB team posts on Instagram and Facebook that there is going to be a road show from airport. Almost 1.5 million people likes it, and lot of people say we will be the part of the gathering. Do you think the intelligence and the police department has not taken note on this? Where was the planning? There was no planning. I want to ask few questions to this government straight. Who has advised you to conduct this function within 12 hours after the victory? They finished the match in Ahmedabad at 1 a.m. They have come here at noon, next day, noon 12 p.m. in Wednesday. Within 12 hours, how do you think the police could have managed this? Have you done any closed door meetings with them? Have you planned this kind of a scale? And the Honorable CM says he has never expected it. We have seen on Tuesday night, though the match happened in Ahmedabad, it was such a fanfare.
Right.
So much of bursting of crackers, more than what we witnessed during the Diwali festival. That was the kind of the craze in Bangalore the fans showed towards the RCB's victory.
But
please
Dr.
don't say
Sudhakar,
that you were not aware.
The interesting point here is the police is saying that we were not given enough time. That's what police sources are telling us.
That is exactly what I want to.
And the state administration is saying that it was Karnataka State Cricket Association that went ahead with this. So I'm wondering, this is an elected government. Shouldn't it have had that final say, that final power of control to say no?
See, I wouldn't agree with the government saying, keeping the blame on KC or RCB. No organization can ever do, even 100 people function without the local permission of the state government. We have run the government, we know how the government functions. So they are now trying to put the blame on either KSCA or they are trying to put the blame on RCB. Please understand the plight. What happened? What was the necessity of doing one program in Vidhan Soda, one program in KSCA? Why not the road show as planned earlier? Or you should have taken 3-4 days time, planned very well. You could have done it on Friday evening or Saturday. So the same IPL, this is not the first season. This is the 18th season. We have 17 years of experience. Chennai has done this. Hyderabad has done this. Mumbai has done this. Nowhere such incidents has taken place.
Right, absolutely.
Even when our Indian team has won the World Cup, when they entered Mumbai, Vasudha, I'm sure you must have seen what kind of crowd Mumbai witnessed that time.
Absolutely. Sir.
It was 10 times more than what we witnessed in Bangalore yesterday.
Yeah. So an event like this should have had
now from 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, they're talking about 5 lakh, 8 lakh. I don't know, in a week's time they may say 10 lakhs and 15 lakhs.
Right.
This is all astronomical numbers.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you, Dr.
Don't
Sudhakar.
please
I think
mislead.
you've raised a lot
What I really, genuinely, judiciously, if we have to give justice to the parents who have lost their children, I humbly request the government, if you are so responsible, if you are really accountable, you please order for a fair judicial inquiry.
Okay. That's a very
Not less than the High Court sitting judge.
Okay.
At least the truth will come out. Accountability we have to fix.
Right.
Otherwise, how can you just say it is an unfortunate incident, we didn't know, we didn't expect?
Absolutely, Dr.
We didn't
Sudhakar. You've raised
expect.
a lot of points. I would like to thank you for your time. Let me also get in the Congress spokesperson here, Bhavya Narasimhamurthy from the Congress party. We have Surbi Horigere from the BJP and Ramakrishna Upadhyay, who is a political analyst. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. To you, Bhavya, first, you heard Dr. Sudhakar also. Several questions there. Clearly this claim that unforeseen crowds, unprecedented crowd, that doesn't seem credible because this also, this is India, this is Bengaluru. Everybody knows that there was a lot of victory celebration. People wanted to come out and celebrate. Clearly, there was some administrative negligence which we need to talk about.
Starting from the Chief Minister to Deputy Chief Minister and most of our ministers, they have acknowledged the lapse. Yes, there was shortage in security. Even the Deputy Chief Minister, you heard him asking us sorry. But that is not enough, of course. We have lost lives here. Responsibility needs to be fixed. We are a responsible government. We are answerable to everyone who voted for us and even for those who did not vote for us. And these lives, the price paid for it is huge. Like,
right.
We can never bring them back, and their families, we can't even fathom the amount of sorrow the family must be going through. We totally understand. But as a responsible government, what needs to be done is first to acknowledge the lapse. We have done that. And the second is we have set up a magisterial inquiry commission. And I'm sure wherever the lapse is, and we have even given a time boundary for that. Like in 15 days, we are expecting them to submit the report as to where the lapse happened and who is to be, pointed out and who is to be either resigned or whatever actions will be taken. It will definitely be proportional to the loss.
Okay.
And everyone
right.
who is responsible will be held accountable.
Right. Before I go to Surbi, today in the court, there were many interesting things that were said. Bhavya, one, of course, the government has said that there was no standard operating procedure, no SOP that was there in place to control large events of this nature. I don't know if other states have this or not, but clearly a state like Karnataka is expected to have something like this. And the state has also said that 2.5 lakh persons had gathered outside the stadium, and this is something that it did not know about. And this was because RCB had publicized the entry was free. Now, the government is not expected to put the blame on a private franchisee. Administration is responsible for its own crowd management and safety of its people, isn't it? Bhavya?
Oh, yeah. You're asking me. I thought
yes,
you were
I'm
talking to Surabhi. Yeah. We did not blame Karnataka Cricket Association. Now, I have already said this. The government will take every action to make sure, the victims are safe. The injured are getting the best possible medical care for free, and even, the compensation to the lives lost. Of course, we can never repay them. But still, now what I'm going to tell you is what happened since the morning. One, the Cricket Association wanted to do it the same day because there were international players who were supposed to fly back to their countries the same day. Because of which they were pressurizing, even the police and the Home Ministry did not give them the permission even for the victory parade because of this. But the same opposition was the first one to say, you government, you are like useless or whatever the words they used, even if they were responsible enough, they should have understood that, police have their
right.
own limits, right? But later, one more point. When they did that, still we did not fall for that. We said no to victory parade, right?
Okay.
But here, when the Cricket Association, whatever happened in Chinnaswamy Stadium, one, as per the government statement, they were not expecting such a huge crowd because only pass holders could come there. Like anytime a cricket match happens, only those with the pass turn up, right? Like 35,000 passes were given, and people thought only they will turn up. But of course, we should have anticipated this. We underestimated it.
Your points are valid.
We underestimated it.
Surbi, you are a Bengalurian yourself. As a person from the city, when you look at this tragedy, what is it that comes to your mind?
It is criminal negligence on the part of the state government to have not anticipated, to have not planned better, and to give excuses like, there was call for We did not anticipate the amount of crowd. We did not coordinate with any of the transport agencies because of XYZ reason. Why the haste? You're telling me some international players and therefore law and order goes for a toss? Why the haste to have a function in Vidhan Sauda? The police also recommended, as per reports, that there should not be two events happening at two different venues in such short distance. There were so many such recommendations that the state government overlooked. The Vidhan Sauda event was just as, what was the need to have an event like that where ministers, MLCs, MLAs, their families were present and the people were all, common people were all having to stand behind a barricade? What was the need to have absolutely no planning in terms of safety infrastructure? What are the exit entry protocols? Did the government really not have an estimate on what crowd was going to come, given that just the previous night, people had gathered together in MG Road, in Church Street. It was all full that end. Those roads were already full. How can you estimate that only 35,000 are going to come through a pass? And don't tell me that a private franchise pressured the government to do something like this. Is that how weak this government is? That you will allow for somebody to do an event of this scale without having proper planning and proper measures to protect the people? The government is absolutely culpable. And just as a last point, what is this inquiry? Is this inquiry going to also inquire the decisions of the state government?
So I'll have to just interrupt you because Gautam Gambhir has reacted to this tragedy. Let's listen to what he said today.
मैं जब खेलता था तब भी मैं इन रोड शोज में ज़्यादा बिलीव करता नहीं था. मैं आज भी नहीं करता और मैं आगे भी नहीं करूँगा. जीतना इंपॉर्टेंट है, सेलिब्रेशन इंपॉर्टेंट है, लेकिन उससे ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है किसी भी व्यक्ति की ज़िंदगी. तो अगर हम प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं हैं या अगर हम उस तरीके के क्राउड को हैंडल नहीं कर सकते तो माइट एज वेल ये रोड शोज नहीं होने चाहिए, बिकॉज वी ऑल आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल सिटीजन ऑफ दिस कंट्री. और वो हमारे को हर तरीके में और हर एक्शन में दिखना चाहिए और हमारे को अपना वो एक्शन दिखाना भी चाहिए.
There was Gautam Gambhir there saying that he doesn't believe in road shows. Surbhi, you were making a point about inquiry there. Continue. What were you saying?
We need a judicial inquiry that takes into account the role of the state government, given that this was not just organized by by private franchise, but there was an event at Vidhan Sauda. We can also assume that the number of police personnel at Chinnaswamy were much lesser because they were deployed in Vidhan Sauda to protect VIPs. So therefore, there needs to be a stronger judicial inquiry that has a 360-degree view with us. Sitting High Court judge has to do the inquiry. It needs to be independent. Otherwise, this will not... Look, I'm not saying this, not just to the BJP that's saying this. If you see any social media post, if you see even the victims, unfortunately, while grieving, they're saying the people who are responsible need to be held accountable and held towards inquiry. So
Ramakrishna Upadhyay, you heard both the spokesperson out. I do feel that there was a certain amount of inadequate coordination amongst the State Cricket Association, of course, police, disaster management agencies, and mainly it looked like the government also did not put its foot down, although it said that it doesn't want a victory parade. But of course, it looks like some people had their way. How are people of Bengaluru looking at this?
You know, it was a completely avoidable tragedy over which now crocodile tears are being shed, and people won't accept it. I mean, according to me, and I think according to a lot of people, there were three principal culprits. One was the state government, the second was the RCB, third was the Karnataka Cricket Association. In the state government, I think the main culprits were Siddaramaiah, the Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister Shiv Kumar, and Home Minister Parmeshwara. And when it comes to the police, the buck stops with the B. Dayananda, the commissioner, and all the senior officers below him. You know, these were the people who should have managed this. I mean, having taken the responsibility to, hold this event, it was their responsibility to ensure that it went out smoothly. Where was the organization? It was zero. I know initially they announced that there will be a parade taken out. The players will be on the open bus so that people can line up and have a look at the stars. I mean, that was hurriedly withdrawn. I don't know why it was withdrawn. I think that was a very sensible idea. If they have only been taken from HCL airport to the Bangalore city, about 15 kilometers, and if the route had been properly publicized through television and social media, people would have thinned out in all these areas, and all that they wanted to have a look at their stars and maybe even the cup, and most of them would have melted away after that. Instead of that, you made them wait near the Chinnaswamy Stadium, and then you had two events, one in Vidhan Sauda, totally avoidable, and that was for VIPs. I mean, the ministers, their families, the MLAs and their families, the IPS and IAS officers and their families. And it was a tamasha being held in Vidhana Saudha, where there was a bigger police protection rather than outside. There were 3,000 police near the Vidhana Saudha to stop public from going there, and outside you had another 5,000. I mean, how do you control the crowd and you say that the fans are to be blamed? I mean, this is disgusting the way the state government has conducted this, and I think the responsibility has to be fixed. And I'm happy that the High Court has taken up a suo motu case, and the judge has even said we may order an independent inquiry. I think that is what is required.
Okay.
And I hear some people saying that there should be a judicial inquiry.
Right.
Judicial inquiry will not help because you cannot hold people accountable. You cannot file cases based on the judicial inquiry report. So it has to be an inquiry under the High Court supervision, and then based on the report of, maybe just have a 3-judge, going around talking to the people. In 15 days, submit the report, who are the culprit, and then the court should take up the matter.
Right.
I think that is what is required in this case.
A lot of people do believe that this is also an incident which is a setback to the political image of the state government. It's one of those states where Congress party is in power. Elections are, of course, later. But clearly, there's something about the government that people will think about because those visuals are going to remain in memory for a long time, isn't it? Yeah, Bhavya?
Definitely, like I said, we have acknowledged this. We know there was a lapse, and only after the magisterial inquiry we can tell you what exactly happened and why everything went wrong. It is easy to sit here and comment. Yes, as an opposition, even they can do that, but and they have a right to do that. But I think think they have the moral right to do that, considering what happens in some of those BJP states where the stampedes happen and they didn't even want to give us the number of deaths. Here, as a government, they are taking the moral responsibility and saying that this has happened, there is a lapse that happened, and we will make sure we will fix the accountability. But as a BJP opposition, I don't think they have the moral authority to even say this because some of the deaths happened and they didn't even want to count those.
Okay, Surabhi, would you like to respond to that?
There needs to be no pontification on what happened in other states or not. Victory parades have happened in BJP ruled
Yeah,
states.
that happens, Surabhi. Yes. When you are in opposition, or you want to speak, but when you are in ruling, you don't.
People are angry today.
That shows that you people don't even give value to human life.
Please don't speak over me. Please don't speak over me.
Bhavya, let her respond. I'll come to you.
Value the life.
Even
value the life of people.
The government has made zero preparation. We should be hanging our heads in shame. Today, the state government should be doing more than saying sorry. There should be resignations. Happen even when there is preparation. This government had done zero preparation, and you should be ashamed of the fact that the state government did a program in the Vidhan Saudha where ministers and their sons and daughters are taking photos, selfies, while the common people are herded like sheep and struggling. So don't try to don't try to take away this blame from your government because you have miserably failed. Miserably. All for what?
The passion with you are submitting, I share it.
So choosing publicity over people, Karnataka will remain.
Surabhi, now, Bhavya, Surabhi is making a lot of important points. She's saying that the Congress government chose publicity over responsibility. How do you react to that?
I share the same sadness that Surabhi has, the anger, the fury, because even I am from Bangalore, right? But all I'm saying is, Surabhi as a spokesperson of BJP, before speaking, all I'm saying is, you're pointing this out. I'm very happy you're a responsible opposition. You're doing this. But please show some, just like how the Karnataka government shows respect.
Are you saying that? No, you're saying it did.
Okay, Surabhi, let her respond. I'll come back to you. Yeah. Bhavya, Can you just have Bhavya? Let her respond.
Utter flop UP government, whether in Kumbh Mela, they don't even want to give us the number.
Talk about where
I know you can't take it, Surabhi. It's easy to point out. Listen, it takes courage.
Okay, can we just have Bhavya, please? Let her respond. I'll come back to Surabhi.
No. It takes courage to be a spokesperson of a ruling government and say, yes, this happened. We take the responsibility. We'll find out where the lapse happened. And it's covered as an opposition, not taking a stand when your ruling government doesn't even want to give us a number of deaths. But
Okay, Surabhi, Surabhi, respond to that. Let's have Surabhi, please. Let's have Surabhi, please.
Your Delhi, your Mumbai, all this stuff.
Let's have Surabhi, please.
volunteer, sitting here and only pointing out.
Because the state
can I make a point
government, the
here?
chief
You don't even want to give us a number.
the chief
Hello, can I
minister
make a
tweets
point
out,
here?
come to Vidhan Sauda, and then his grandson is taking selfies while people out there are dying. And then you're telling me zero preparation. Who coordinated with BMRCL? Metro lines were choked yesterday. Who coordinated with the police? Police says don't do this event. Don't go ahead, and yet it goes ahead. You're telling me in a situation where there is a stampede and we have lost people, the government has done zero preparation. Even when there is preparation, stampedes tend to happen. But with zero preparation, this government has gone in. You're telling me that a sorry is enough? Accountability stops at a sorry. It stops at a resignation. Have the guts to say that then.
Okay, completely out of time. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. Moving on to other news now. In a major diplomatic success for India, Malaysia has extended a warm and official welcome to an Indian parliamentary delegation despite behind-the-scenes pressure from Pakistan. This is what BJP MP Dr. Hemang Joshi has said in an exclusive conversation with NDTV. And this was after his return from the five-nation visit. Dr. Joshi was part of this multi-party delegation that toured Japan, South Korea, Singapore, Indonesia and also Malaysia. He revealed that Pakistan made indirect attempts to derail the Malaysian leg of the tour, but the country failed to achieve any disruption.
Well, the delegation that visited 5 countries, one of its member, Dr. Hemang Joshi, BJP MP, specifically to Malaysia, as you mentioned about how Pakistan embassy tried to snub India's delegation over there. They tried to cancel the programs. What was, the response of India's delegation and how successful it went at last?
So we had 10 events planned in Malaysia, and we did all the events as per our program. There were efforts, silent efforts or indirect efforts made from embassy of our counterpart, Pakistan, but they were not successful. And we received a very warm and good response from Malaysian government. We met the Speaker of Malaysia. And also we have put forward our agenda on how we can get Malaysia's support in financial action task force and also in organization of Islamic countries, particularly where Pakistan always try to pass the anti-India resolutions. It is an irony that India has more number of Muslims than Pakistan. Still, it is not a member of OIC.
And we all saw that frustrated press release of Pakistan after Malaysia's visit. What was that, and does that shock the Indian delegation?
No, we were not shocked because we found it as our success, because they were quite confident that they will not get that much success. We will not get that much success in Malaysia. But the way we received the response from the government, from the think tanks, from the diaspora, and from the media itself, and the way we addressed the media with all the proofs and facts. So they were shaken, and out of frustration, they had to recognize and acknowledge our presence in Malaysia. And they had to, again, release their false propaganda as a press release in their official account.
Lastly, Dr. Joshi, it is multi-party delegation. All the political party members were the part of your delegation. They spoke in one voice in these countries. But here back in India, there was politics which was going on. Rahul Gandhi made a statement, Narendra surrendered in front of the United States. How do you see those politics going on while you were speaking in one voice?
Yeah, I feel it is unfortunate. Being a leader of opposition, I feel ashamed that he is a part of our even parliament, because his statements and his kitchen cabinet's statements and reels are much celebrated in Pakistan rather than India. And it is not only demeaning the morale of our army, but also demeaning the morale of our citizens of the country. So he should learn something, and we will also urge our Honorable Speaker of Lok Sabha to at least teach him some manners.